So, what grounds does Israel have to stand on to exist? Everybody's talking about Israel's got a right to defend itself. Israel's got a right to exist. Yummy, 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 yummy. And so I decided to look into it a little bit and see just what grounds there are for Israel in fact existing. Now, she's got the English law approach. These lands were theoretically ceded to her, even though the English didn't own them, but they claimed they did. So they claimed they owned these lands and ceded them to these early Zionists. They were posing themselves as farmers and you just want a land of our own. That's all we want, just a shot at a safe life for us. And the English and everybody else was feeling kind of guilty because of how cavalierly they turned their backs on the said folks while Hitler was massacring them. There was a guilt trip going on there. And so what they did is they decided to impose upon the people of Palestine this collection of individuals that called themselves Jewish and subscribed to some of the familiar Jewish things that the Palestinians were aware of because they'd lived with Jews for countless centuries. They knew Jews. They may not have been the best friends of Jews, but they weren't enemies of Jews. I mean, Jews and the Muslims, babysat each other's kids, and they were neighbors. And they weren't so hot in each other's religion, but that's allowed. I mean, it happens in England. It happens all over the world. People don't like each other's religion. I don't think it's very smart, but I don't think God thinks it's very smart either. But, you have free will, you do as you choose. Understand? This is how it works. And if you make mistakes, you pay for them. And if you make mistakes and you want to get somebody else to pay for them, that creates a problem for you, the other party, and God, and the entire realms of heaven. Because this earth is not an orphan. This earth is not an accident that occurred in space. Space dust got horny and banged each other and created the Big Bang, of course. And Bob's your uncle, here we are. That would work if there was not poetry and divinity inbuilt into each subatomic molecular particle in this construct called creation. You see, God was never living in the clouds or some never land that nobody could dream of. God was in fact living resident inside of each and every one of these wigglers posing themselves as human beings on this planet today and over the last 7,000 years, and prior to that as well, in another experiment that didn't work out so well. I'm praying this one works out a lot better than the last one, but it's getting a little dicey around now. We have a group of individuals who think that they are superior to all other wigglers on this planet. I'm here to tell you that you're born of the same parents. You have you have lots of unique shit going on, but nothing really special from each other. There's nothing really special about a Jewish girl than an Arab girl. I know I've tasted them both, and I enjoyed them both, and I loved them both, and I still do. So, but it's your choice. You resent who you like. It's not my business, but it is my business when you start pulling out guns and shooting each other based on inaccurate platitudes that really deserve to be in the round filing cabinet in your head and in life in general. And that is that God says it's okay for any kind of people to seek to be the largest asshole wiggling on my planet, bar none, and claim nobody can say anything about it because if you do, you're anti-Semitic and therefore cancelable. We'll write you off, we'll chop your head off, basically. Off with your head. You have to like these fake Jews. Doesn't matter what they've done to you, doesn't matter what they do to anyone else. Doesn't matter how much they resist the laws of God, the laws of man, the laws of creation. Those folks only are exempt from all of it. This is what they're claiming. And not only that, the rest of us need to be about the business of seeking how to serve them in the most robust fashion possible, and maybe they'll let us continue to live. This is their covert, really, position. They won't come out and say it because they're too chicken. Anytime somebody's got to sneak and hide around, they're stealing something. You ever notice? And it doesn't matter whether it's the guy down the street or country. It doesn't matter much to God either. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. God does not support, God never made any deal with any Zionist and is not likely to begin to now. And I told Benjamin Netanyahu this personally 10 years ago, and he did not listen. That's fine. He's not obligated to listen to me. Nobody is. But the fact of the matter is that the current aberration in my Palestine lands has not anything to do with Jewish. It has everything to do with Zionist, and Zionist is a Nazi, except on steroids and champagne, expensive champagne and steroids. That's what a Zionist is. There's no substance to any of it. It's all based on a delirium of entitlement, to which they have no justifiable support. The construct called Israel today fails under English law by virtue of bad faith binding constructs inherent in English law. So I'm not even a lawyer, but I can defeat the postulate Israel based on that tenet alone in any court worthy of the name court. And as far as divine law is concerned, I'd like you to show me even a single one of the 10 Commandments. Forget about the other several hundred that all Jews are supposed to cling to, and about half our Jews in the world still do, I'm told. I'm very grateful to hear that. I believe they do. So, but this other half, this 50% of their deranged cousins, thinks that they're smarter than God, that God is passé, but they want to milk the benefits of God in the same breath. And not only that, they want the rest of the world to suck their dick and pretend to enjoy it. And if you don't, we'll just simply cut your head off. It's clear as bell. Just no argument. If you don't agree with me, you're anti-Semitic, you're stupid. So, not even God addresses you like this. There's no way I'm going to allow this. I'm not going to allow this to rule. Want to bet? This is your King of Kings saying, Happy month of May, 2026.